Hello, this is Jane Goodall, and I'm going to read you a charming little book. It's called Jacanas and the Floating Leaves. It's by Korn Chen, and it's produced by the Ministry of Transportation and Communications. There's the book, which I will really enjoy reading. So, the creation of the pheasant-tailed jacana in this book was inspired by the water caltrop. The characters of the book were created out of the leaves of the water caltrop. Jacanas and the Floating Leaves by Korn Chen. A long time ago, there were water ponds in Taiwan everywhere. In these ponds, covered with floating aquatic plants, there lived a certain kind of water bird known as the pheasant-tailed jacana. The jacana is also known as the walker on leaves. Later, people started to fill up the ponds for various kinds of reasons, and the jacanas everywhere slowly disappeared. Eventually, only a handful of jacanas can be seen in the small villages of southern Taiwan. Farmers from these villages kept the ponds to grow water caltrops, and the floating leaves provided a most welcome habitat for the jacanas. The jacanas thus became known as water caltrop birds. But when a new high-speed rail route was planned, it ran right through the water caltrop ponds. The rails will affect the ponds. What will happen to the existing 50-plus jacanas in the ponds? Many people were worried about this development. The high-speed rail is a major public construction project and cannot be put aside. Can't we change the route? A high-speed train must travel along straight lines. We cannot alter the route. Well then, the jacanas might very well disappear from Taiwan altogether. Everyone was debating about this worrisome situation. We can build the jacanas a new home. A new home, but where would be a suitable site? It cannot be too far, and it must have a water source. There's an abandoned sugarcane field nearby. Finally, a plan that suited all parties was hatched. How do we build a habitat for the jacanas? No one has any experience. Since the jacanas live in water caltrop ponds, let's create similar ponds. And so, the wide and dry plains of the sugarcane fields were divided into sections filled with water from nearby rivers and planted with water caltrops. After several months, the floating leaves of the water caltrops have almost covered the surfaces of the ponds. Will the jacanas move to their new habitat? Everyone asked the same question every day. The jacanas really came. A female jacana stands elegantly aside, watching 4 male birds vying for her attention. Only the winner will have the right to mate with her. The male jacana builds his nest on the water caltrop leaves. When it's completed, he coos, "Yee-woo, yee-woo." The female jacana shows up to inspect the nest. She's happy with the offer and mates with that male bird. The female jacana lays 4 eggs in the nest, and the male jacana incubates the eggs. But for unknown reasons, some of the water caltrop leaves are missing. The leaves keep on disappearing, and when the chicks are hatched, they have hardly any leaves to stand on. Although the little ones can swim, the predators in the water pose real threats to the little chicks. After a few days, the entire jacana family is missing. Everyone hopes for the best. What happened to water caltrop leaves? I know they've been eaten up by the leaf beetles. Let's use some pesticides to get rid of them. No, pesticides are harmful to other creatures. This is what happens when we only plant a single crop. Many pests will prevail. In that case, we'd better plant more variety of aquatic plants with floating leaves. Everyone offers many ideas on this situation. Many other species of floating-leafed aquatic plants are collected from elsewhere and planted in the new ponds of the Jacanas. After 20 years, many species of floating-leafed aquatic plants are thriving in these ponds. Not only are more Jacanas making their homes here, the ponds have attracted many other living things as well. When the Taiwan high-speed rail started operations, the new home of the Jacanas was opened to the public and officially named as the Pheasant-tailed Jacana Ecological Education Park. The park offers us an opportunity to observe the birds closely. Currently, there are more than 1,700 pheasant-tailed jacanas living in and near the park. In the ponds, the floating-leafed aquatic plants have formed a sturdy network for the jacanas. I like real stories like this, where everyone comes together to openly discuss the challenges and work together to find a solution to move forward. The story is not over yet. Many jacanas leave the protected park when they grow up. Think about it. What kind of challenges will they face? And there's a little quotation by me on the back cover. Only if we understand can we care. Only if we care will we help. Only if we help shall all be saved. And let me just add that I was in Taiwan when this situation was originally discussed with Nita Ng, who was directing the high-speed railway, and I heard the decision to create a new habitat, and so many people thought it would never work, but it did, as you hear in this little book. I visited that park, I've seen the jacanas there, and what a wonderful solution, what a wonderful lesson, that we can save endangered species if we truly care and if we get together to make it happen. And that's what the Jane Goodall Institute Taiwan is all about, and our Roots and Shoots program, where young children come up with their own solutions to environmental problems. I hope you enjoyed the book. Bye.